What was the barrier why the children were not coming to school? This was because of school charges, school fees, and the other charges. So when I analyzed this in 1996, after 10 years of our government, when we started getting a bit of money, I think my staff here should give you the tax collections of the government of Uganda from 1986 to today, so that you see, because all government expenditures depend on tax collections. So it's important for you as head teachers to know how much the government has been collecting in taxes over the years. By 1996, we were beginning to collect a little bit of money. In 1986, we were collecting 5 billion shillings a year, just 5 billion. Billion a beach, pekene. Today, we are collecting 15,000 billion in taxes. From 5,000 to now 15,000. Now, when the tax collection started improving, by 96, the question was, what do we do with this additional money? And my answer was, other jobs can wait, but children cannot wait. If you wait for, if you don't grab them when they are still young, they will okukona. Okukona means, in our languages here, means to, when the food is insufficiently cooked, or miscooked. After it means, we therefore said that if we do not want our children to kukona, whatever money we have, let's put it in Bonaba Some, education for all. So we are spending 1.2 trillion, 1.4 trillion in salaries alone of U.P.E. I remember the figures of the primary school teachers before U.P.E. The number of primary school teachers, including air, I must acknowledge ghosts, because ghosts also eat money. So before U.P.E., including the ghosts, the number of primary teachers was 80,000. Now with U.P.E, we have to increase enrollment of teachers. The figure now is 132,000. So if we had not introduced U.P.E, we would be spending much less on salaries and so on. So we therefore introduced U.P.E in order to save your children from okona, from missing out. But you people, you the head teachers, you sit there with the rich parents, who are the ones who sit on what you call PTA. The PTA is always comprised of the local elite, the local trader, the local Nasomako, the ones who went to school a bit. These are the ones who dominate the PTA. And when you meet in your PTA, you say, we should put school charges. So the other day I was in a place called Chani. And then I said, you people, why do you charge these poor parents school charges when you know that they will not manage? Now, there were these local elite, the ones who are a bit all right, who dominate the PTA. There was a woman there, and the Nyankore language is very dangerous because the Nyankore words are very precise. So, this educated lady from the local area, she said they can afford. They can afford. Nubabasa. That means they can afford. These parents can afford. So then my question was another Nyankore word, which is Nibegiza, Okwegiza. In Uganda they call it Okwekosa. Somebody to pretend that you cannot, when in fact you can. That is Okwegiza. So, I have been asking all you, the local leaders, now that I have got a chance, I want to ask you, are these parents Okwegiza, or do they kubasa? So, can they afford, or are they pretending not to afford? You go back, because now the first lady, you are now in trouble because the first lady uses the Bible. This is very frightening. I'm very worried about you. Because you remember what happened to a man, what was his name? Safira and his husband. Ananias and Safira, they died on the spot. So now that the first lady has referred to the Bible, and you have sown those things you have sown there, you have put your, I'm very worried about you. So you go back and get an honest answer to these two questions. Can the families afford, or are they pretending that they can? Don't answer now. You go back and do your social inquiry about those. Because if you take that line, those who can, that means it is voluntary. It is like a contribution, like fundraising. It is like when we go to the church and they make church collections. They pass around the katemere, the basket or the bag, and you drop in what you can. And God meanwhile is watching and seeing what you. But for you to say, all of you must bring this money. If you don't bring money for this, for that, the children should be expelled from school. That one is very, very bad. And I have not been happy. But for me, I always go slowly. I complain. I know that God is there listening. So please, I want you to help me with this.